What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9 in the Star Wars saga. Originally supposed to be directed by Rian Johnson, who I believe directed the best Star Wars film of all of the franchise. I think The Last Jedi is, from like a cinematic, like film, kind of just epic scenes that are better than like there's some scenes in The Last Jedi that are better than entire films in this franchise. The prequels are pretty dog shit. The originals are good, in my opinion, J.J. Abrams, a wildly overrated director, and the Star Wars franchise, for how much people like literally obsess over this franchise, wildly overrated franchise. The original three are good, right? I loved them growing up as a child. I love them, even though it's impossible to see, almost virtually impossible. Thank you to the creator Lucas for making it virtually impossible to see the original versions of the franchise, which I grew up watching on VHS. Those are good. But then the prequels are pretty dog shit. And then they did this kind of reboot, kind of sequel type of thing with Force Awakens, which I did enjoy. JJ directed that. It was good. You got to see like cameos that really like it fit in. I felt it was like a good start to a new story. But it wasn't like anything special. It was basically remaking the first movie, or kind of, it's a reboot in a lot of ways, beat for beat. There wasn't a whole lot of originality with the storytelling in that. And then Rian Johnson comes in for The Last Jedi. I believe made the best of the franchise out of all 9 movies. The Last Jedi is cinematically the best film. It has epic scenes that nothing even compares to. It's just a really good director doing kind of an amazing. I mean, there's nothing in, especially this new one, Rise of Skywalker, that even comes close. There's like a still scene, not a still, but it's like there's this one really quick scene at the very, very end of Rise of Skywalker where you're seeing 2 characters, and then in the distance you have like that hazy desert sunset kind of a sky. Which was like JJ's kind of, I guess, attempt at doing something that's beautiful on screen. But this movie is basically, spoilers, it is lens flare, character dies, nope, character didn't die, lens flare, here's a reference, here's another reference, oh, here's a cameo, lens flare, cameo, oh, we need to find the pyramid GPS, oh, the pyramid GPS is broken, oh, thankfully there's a second, like, anytime something bad happens, instantaneously the next beat in this movie is like, oh, never mind, there's like that person didn't really die, we were just fucking with you. There's no, so it's like just after a point, like anytime something bad, like, oh, a character gets thrown off a cliff, it's like, don't worry, that dude held on to something, he's fine. So this movie also has characters, apparently Jedis can fly, or at least like super float, super jump. So like these characters have that ability now, yet still struggled to climb up mountains, which I thought was pretty stupid. I mean, there's just so much of this movie is like, what are we doing here? Like you're changing these characters to be able to have these abilities, but then only selectively. It's like only when they're doing really boring sword fighting scenes we'll have them float around. But if they're like going to a place, like, and they have to climb up something, it's like they weigh twice as much. They like struggle to climb things. Meanwhile, like part of the film, they're just flying around. It's like if you watch the Superman movie and it's like Superman was at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and then instead of just flying to the top of the Grand Canyon, he has to like climb the side. It's like, why would Superman ever need to climb anything? But these characters do. It's just, this entire movie was just, there's no life to it. There's no heart in this movie. I mean, there's definitely a lot of money. There's a high production value to this film, but as far as it was just boring. It was really boring and long for how boring it is. The Last Jedi was, I think, similar, maybe 10 minutes longer, but was packed with just amazing performances, amazing set pieces, just interesting visuals, like just epic visuals that I think pay homage to what started this franchise as doing like finding ways to make these things seem so epic. Where this movie just feels rushed. The entire movie just feels rushed. There's like all of this fake tension. All these character moments that were built up in the last movie are just squandered. Like different characters are just like side characters now. The humor is just not. There's no character moments at all in this movie. Like at no point do you feel, not that we haven't spent time with these people and these characters already, but there's no like the dialogue and stuff in this. Everything's like so chop chop fast 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 that it just there's no room for any of the dialogue to breathe. You don't get to see any of the personalities of these characters shine through versus like the night I came home from watching this bad movie, right? Apparently this movie with all of the references and all of the cameos, like people that are super nerds of Star Wars that have watched all the TV shows and read all of the things and like have done all of the homework, right? If you've done all of your homework for the Star Wars franchise, then this movie apparently is good to those people. But if you're looking to watch a good movie, you're not going to see one here. And I would very much compare this to a lot of the DC movies, which apparently the screenwriter of this was the same guy that wrote Batman versus Superman and I think another DC movie, which those movies, just like this one, are a movie of references and cameos and things that you only get if you have done all of your homework, right? It's not an actual self-contained movie. It's just a visualization of your homework coming together in a piece where if only you read everything, then everything will make sense. But the storytelling's so bad, if you haven't done your homework, then a lot of the stuff just flies over your head and nothing really makes any sense. Is basically this movie. The sword fighting was boring. The just how they handled, like in the last movie, they set up a thing where Kylo Ren and Rey could like communicate in this like weird dimensional thing. The way it's handled in The Last Jedi is far superior than how it's handled here. Here it's used as a gimmick for like just lazy writing. Like we need a lightsaber to all of a sudden be in somebody's hand, so now they can like exchange things through this force thing. It was just, I don't know, it was disappointing. And I was in a theater full of people who would applaud as soon as Star Wars the logo came on the screen. They were applauding. There was a guy 2 rows in front of me. Every single reference, he came in his shorts. It was the most amazing thing for him. And just seeing people get excited over just references is just the worst. It would be like watching the remake of Ghostbusters, the female version, where they don't really give a shit about the originals. There's some references and some cameos, like they kill a lot of the Ghostbusters in that one. It'd be like every time you see like Bill Murray, oh, Bill Murray's in this. Oh, Dan Aykroyd is a cab driver. Yay! It's like, no, if you actually like the original Ghostbusters, writing him as just some cab driver and not even like having him play a cameo of his character from the original, it's just like this weird dimensional shift where in the female Ghostbusters they were just like it's weird where some of them are the thing and some of them aren't. Just really bad. In this movie, really bad. Just I don't know. As a film, if you were to just take this as a film on its own, it is the worst, I would say, of the franchise, including the spin-offs. I mean, the production value, sure, there's big set pieces, but even that was not good. Just really not good. And they say Ray like a million times, which just makes it even worse. Just annoying. It's just when your name is the same as a character and it's said 100,000 times, it's like, I'm done. And just even the title, Rise of Skywalker. It's like, this is the end of a thing, and it's titled The Rise of... She's not even Skywalker. It's whatever. This is so stupid. So I was fast to get out of that theater because I was done. So yeah, so go watch it if you want. Hopefully Rian Johnson is doing that next trilogy because he's a good filmmaker. He's really good at telling stories. Go watch Knives Out instead of this movie. But JJ is just highly overrated. And whoever that screenwriter is, I don't understand how he's working. I just don't. I mean, people love it, but whatever. That's it. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a great day, everybody. May the force be with you!